you idiots hate policy. All you want is identity politic bullshit, and you think that drives ratings, and you want me to show humility to those morons? None. Zero.
Cenk Uygur gets into a heated debate with his own nephew, Hasan Piker, during their Thanksgiving thing. They're actually family, and they get into a freaking huge family fight. And I actually already recorded a different video from this like 3.5 hour live stream debate that they had. So I'll put that like linked below or a card up here. But this one is more about identity politics, and this one gets even more explosive. Let's get right into it.
The right side, you say f the corporate interests, f the donors, right? So, and the populist right agrees with that. So that's actually an interesting point that we should come back to, a point of agreement we should come back to. But the part where we disagree, Haas, is you say, well, if they're digging in on a wedge issue, ignore it. But Kamala Harris literally did that. They had a giant debate about whether to address it or not.
No.
They even pulled ads where they addressed it.
You're misunderstanding me.
And they decided, oh, let's not address it.
You're wrong.
It was a mistake.
They literally also, like, they did this with immigration especially. Like, they were like, we're not going to ignore it. We're just going to get ahead of it. And what they did with immigration, they're going to do with trans issues next election cycle. And it's the same principle over and over again. It makes you look like a hypocrite, and it makes you look like the Republicans were right all along. And the only thing it does is prime your base into conceding and agreeing with the Republican framing on an issue. If
so
there
what
was
do you
any
do instead? What
he should lie to his audience then, just because like he doesn't want them to become conservatives one day? How about he follows the truth? He speaks the truth and his changing positions on his show, and he guides his audience there, because at the end of the day, we should be seeking out truth, and that's probably what you guys want from the political commentators or people that you watch on YouTube, right?
Say is I delineate. So when you say, hey, Andy Bashir runs against it, but which issue? So if you're talking about constitutional rights, you fight for trans rights 100%. You're talking about military, you fight 100%. I'd fight on bathrooms, I'd fight on high school, but I draw the line on sports. I draw professional sports. I draw the line on giving free surgeries.
That's the thing.
Then you can defend your position and get back to where the great majority of American people agree with you.
You want to know why there's no reason to draw any of these lines? Because Kamala Harris did actually bring this up, which I thought was like, especially because like she didn't have a clear or consistent position on this at all. It was like, it was left out there in the dark, but like Trump did the same thing as well for undocumented migrants.
Say that, I know.
It's just like it's a thing that nobody gives a shit about until people are primed into caring about it. That's my point. It's been happening for a very long time.
They should care about it.
And for prisoners that want to get this component of healthcare, and nobody technically gives a shit about it. It's already like a incredibly tiny, minuscule, marginal percentage. So it doesn't matter. Like it ultimately doesn't matter. I'm saying if the Democrats had something if Democrats had, but it didn't, and I'll get to that in a second.
Why?
If Democrats had something that they were fighting for, nobody would give a shit about this. That's the point.
Yeah, but
you brought up Bernie Sanders. And you said, oh, healthcare, universal healthcare. Bernie Sanders has also said trans rights are human rights. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like...
But that's the difference between 2016 and 2020.
It's not like Bernie Sanders. It's not like Bernie Sanders himself is saying like, yeah, trans people, we got to cut them out of this bargain.
Trans people, you guys are just making that up.
No,
but in Haas, when you frame it that way, you get all these crazy
Republicans
people
are
online.
saying that. Republicans are saying that.
No, I know, but we're not saying that.
No,
you get all these crazy people online who are like, oh my God, if you don't agree to free surgeries for every trans person on planet Earth, you're a Nazi. Well, you know those people exist, and those people, that is the radical left, and they are stupid, and they do cost us elections.
No, you're...
Amen.
You're hyper focusing, and I've had this conversation privately with you many times over. You are hyper focusing on people that are in your replies on Twitter, and because that's all you,
that radical left
because
is bullshit,
all you interact,
stupid dumbasses. Do you agree?
There are a million.
Comment Chunky Yogurt for the algorithm, by the way, and make sure you subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, because I post 2 new ones every single day.
That are both in your replies that have also gotten mad at me as well, time and
like, why would Hasan agree with Cenk on anything? Because Hasan is quite literally the radical left that Chunky Yogurt, Chunkster, is annoyed with and can't stand. It's his own nephew, and that's why they get into a crazy fight. They can't stand each other anymore, and they used to agree on everything. It's crazy.
And time again on specific issues, maybe ones that even pertain to trans rights. Okay, it literally doesn't matter. people get very passionate, understanding. I'm very understanding.
Shocking agreement. I agree. There's 13
understand-
douchebags online. That's what
but
I said from day one.
I know, but why the would you ever hyper focus on
but
people
Haas,
like
because
that?
You, look, no. So you might be doing the right thing. Hold on.
You're doing the Bill Maher thing. You're
bullshit,
demanding that there needs to be a sister
bullshit.
No, you're
Hold
doing
on,
the
let me
sister
explain.
soldier moment.
No,
That's it.
bullshit.
No, you're trying
Okay,
to.
so the minute we said things on Earth, which you now agree with, apparently, then what happened? It wasn't just the 13 douchebags online. And by the way, everybody said, no. Those 13 douchebags represent all the left. You're not on the left anymore because the 13 douchebags control the left. And then what happened next? Then Majority Report jumped in, and Lance from the Serfs, and all the other little dirtbags jumped in, and they were like, no, Cenk and Anna are turning right. The 13 douchebags are right. We need to protect every trans person should get free surgery.
We got,
even in China, even though we have nothing to do with China, we hate them. They're Nazis.
You got to, okay.
I mean, I'm 100% right. Every dirtbag show did it.
You got to calm
Every
down.
dirtbag show did it.
And that's precisely what Hasan does on his own show.
I'm wrong.
This is reframing an issue that is now we've moved away from the electoral consequences of a trans ad to your own personal anger and frustration that you have with left-wing media online. We are
so do you agree left-wing media online, those guys that I listed are full of shit?
I have
and in a tiny stupid minority?
I have disagreements with everyone in this space, but there's a reason why seemingly I don't catch the same amount of strays that you do because I don't hyper focus.
I can tell you why.
I don't hyper focus. What do you think it is?
They think you're hot, young. I don't mean attractive. God bless on that. Okay. I'm also obviously hot.
No, you're chunky yogurt. Come on.
I mean,
expired chunky yogurt at that.
As in, they think, oh, the young people watch Hasan. He's cool, and you give the thing of like, oh no, trans people are right on everything, right? You don't come out and make the distinctions that Anna and I made. Okay, so they think, oh no, he's good. He's extreme as we are. I think he's woke left. Yay, extremeness.
I think the reason, first of all, you're
okay. By the way, Majority Report and all of you guys, you better attack him. He apparently agrees with me. Okay, you better attack him. You're not going to attack him, are you?
You're hyper.
Cenk is so done with his audience and the radical left. You can just see it. He's like, go do your thing, guys. Go attack. But they're not because Hasan is the radical left.
You're hyper personalizing this into like criticisms that you've received.
Somebody comes and punches you in the face 12 times, and you go, what? Why are you hyper personalizing it?
Because
just because I called you a Nazi, now it's personal to you.
Because myself, you, Majority Report,
but I never changed my policy. I never changed my policy.
All of this is inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. And whenever there's like drama, for example, I've been getting attacked mercilessly by my former podcast co-host that has been actively trying to deplatform me for the past 2 months because he thinks that, or he's claiming that I am creating a space that is anti-Semitic. The way I've dealt with that,
based Hasan W. Just kidding, YouTube. Just kidding.
For the most part, is by just actively ignoring it leading up to the election because I was like, this is some silly nonsense. And in the aftermath, I covered some of the broader points, and I moved on. If you extend the conflict that way, instead of trying to find a reasonable middle ground, and even show humility in a certain, I don't agree. Even show humility instead of saying I'm right, there's never going to be any sort of real solidarity.
Why am I going to show humility to you, a bunch of idiots who are wrong?
Because
hey, freaking men, I respect that, Cenk. I do. Come on, Chunk, go off, King.
Like, what is humility?
I can't believe I have to agree with Cenk again. Like, it's crazy. Hello, 2024, and I'm sitting here agreeing with Anna Kasparian and Chunky Yogurt. I cannot believe my eyes, but it's happening.
What do you mean? Like, oh, maybe you're right about your dumb opinion that's going to cost us this election. Okay. Maybe you're right about your dumb opinion that gets the...
Hasan doesn't care about winning elections. I think what he cares about is... making his audience super happy because the more woke he is, the more he gets support, the more money he gets. So who cares about the election? Who cares who's actually running the country as long as I get my streamers and my money? I think that's really what it comes down to.
The majority of the country to hate us when our economic positions are overwhelmingly popular. Maybe you making us intensely unpopular when we should be focusing on universal health care, higher wages, paid family leave. But you idiots hate policy. All you want is identity politic bullshit, and you think that drives ratings, and you want me to show humility to those morons? None.
See, he's done. He is done with this identity politics BS, and I love to see it. If you made it to the end of the video, comment an orange heart for the algorithm, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.